New year, new you. Are you ready to get organized? You can give yourself a fabulous gift by creating systems in your home. These 6 tips for organizing your life will help you feel more in control, experience less stress, and buy you more. Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show. Today we're going to talk about 6 tips for organizing your life in the new year. New year, new you. Are you ready to get organized? You can follow these tips, creating an organized life anytime throughout the year. The new year is a fabulous time to press the reset button and start fresh. It seems that if the whole calendar and the whole world are starting over, it empowers us with more energy to do the same. Number 1, get rid of the clutter. Physical clutter can make us feel anxious, depressed, and worried. A study found that the levels of the stress hormone, cortisol, were higher in moms whose home environment was cluttered. Physical clutter can lead to mental clutter. Our brains function best in an orderly environment. When we are overwhelmed by the stuff around us and the constant heaviness of what needs to be done, our minds seemingly just shut down. Studies have found that clutter has effects on our mental health, specifically our ability to cope, short-term memory, ability to focus, and even weight loss. There are a lot of strategies out there for how to get rid of clutter. You need to find one that works for you. I wrote about the donation box in my favorite mom products because everyone in the family helps out. I have a friend who gets rid of 5 things in her house each week. She finds this manageable and it is constantly moving forward and cleaning out the clutter. Long-term strategies can include every day, give just 10 minutes and systematically work through your entire house. Number 2, each week, go to a different room and find duplicates, expired, or no longer using products. Number 3, once a month, go and find outgrown, no longer using clothes, books, toys, etc. Number 4, the Ponder Bin. I love the Ponder Bin. Once a week, find things you don't use, but if you aren't sure you want to donate them because you're kind of attached to them, put them in the bin. Put the bin away, and then when you really need that item or want that item, go get it. But for every single thing that's left in a year that you haven't gone and gotten, donate. Number 5, as you do laundry, linens, towels, blankets, etc., all of the extras that you have, or the ones that have holes, or the bad plastic, or the bad elastic, you can repurpose. For example, if you're going to be painting, you can throw those sheets on the ground, or you can donate or toss. Do you feel like you just do not have the time to get on top of all of the dirt and clutter? Can you find just 10 minutes during the day? I created 52 tidying tasks. Each one can be done in just 10 minutes. These are those things that will keep your house looking amazing. And if you have older children, they can do some of these tasks. So you can set the timer for 10 minutes and you can go to do one task and they can go to do another task. And then you can meet at the end of 10 minutes and you can see what got done. So in 10 minutes, if you have 3 kiddos, 4 tasks could get done because one of them is simply going through and emptying all the trash baskets. My biggest obstacle is not the tidying, it is the clutter. I have so much clutter. So I also created a list of 60 decluttering tips. These are also intended to take 10 minutes. Now some of them take a little bit longer, but you can easily go through them because there's 60 of them. You can do 2 decluttering tasks a week and your house can be totally decluttered in a year. So, all of those things that come out next year about how to declutter, you won't even need to look at them because your house will be totally simplified and clean and look lovely. So get these fabulous 102 10-minute organization tips for free. Just download them. You will find the link in the description notes. Number 2, organize your files. I hate this job. I see the value in having an organized filing system. I want an organized filing system, yet this is a constant struggle for me. If you do not currently have any files, how do you organize your important papers? However you keep your important paperwork, the taxes and all of the paperwork that goes with the taxes, mortgages, rent, information, car maintenance, history, medical records, warranties, etc. This needs to have some kind of organizational system so you can find these when you need them. I prefer file drawers with the large hanging file folders, and then you can put the individual smaller file folders in. For example, credit cards. You have one large hanging file folder of credit cards, and then within each one you have the individual credit card files. I realize that a lot of your information can be given to you digitally. However, the next category is going to be digital clutter. You still have to be able to organize all of that information that you get digitally as well. I like the paper format, especially with things like credit cards, because I can see if the items that I returned actually were refunded to my credit card. And for me, it's just easier if I have it in a paper statement and then I can just cross it off or highlight it or however my system is when I get those refunds that come back. I got a label maker. I love my label maker. I put on all my files, I put a little label on there. This made the job less tedious. It didn't make the label making less tedious. It made the job of organizing my files less tedious, which is kind of funny because it actually takes longer to type out a label than it does to just scrawl the name of the file on the file folder. However, when you open up the file drawer and you see all of these neat little files with the little label makers, it looks so much cleaner and organized that it makes it less of a horrible task for me, just because it feels. I have a friend who has an organization business as her career. She helps people organize their stuff in their lives. Well, she came over and tried to help me organize mine. She likes the binder system. She gets 3-ring binders and adds protector sheets. She can then 3-hole punch any of the documents and then add pictures or receipts in the little sheet protectors because they serve like pockets. I wanted to love the binder system. This seemed so much cleaner and so much better organized than anything else, yet this system just did not work for me. As soon as I put a binder on the shelf, I completely forgot about it, and then I was just throwing all of my stuff into piles. Because right now, that's my go-to organization system. It's piles, which is not a very well-organized system at all. So you need to find an organized system that will work for you. Strategies for organizing your important papers can include the file drawer, the binder system, cubbies or boxes, and digitally. There's apps or ways of scanning the things, all kinds of things, but you can look into a digital way. So now we're going to talk about the digital clutter. I had never heard of this term before this year, but when I heard about it, I knew exactly what they were talking about. Now that we are in a digital age, everything is coming at us in digital format, and we are keeping everything. We end up buying more and more cloud storage so that we can store all of this space junk. Do we really need more storage? Not always. We are simply so overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that we would rather store it than risk erasing that great picture of Dakota feeding the goats at the petting zoo, for example. Cleaning up your digital clutter is an arduous task. I do not recommend doing this in one sitting. I recommend you look at one area and try to clean that one area up over a specific amount of time. For example, if you are cleaning out an email box and have a lot of emails, try to clean out 300 a week. While this seems like a really large number, you can easily see who sends you a lot of the same emails that you may have clicked on but not erased. Just type that sender in the search bar of your email and it will show you all of the emails that have stored in your inbox. Select them all and then delete them. I get regular emails, for example, from the library and the local theater. I always think I'm going to go back and look at them, but I never do, so I have a bunch stored up. This is a very easy cleanup. In 10 family activities during winter break, I talked about going over photos as a family. This is fun because you can talk about the things that you enjoyed doing together and decide which photos to keep as a group. You then delete the photos that are grainy or blurred, or are those shots where it's just let me get one more in case. Here are some areas of digital clutter you may have: email, photos, Google Drive, downloads on your computer, old software or applications, texts, messages, and Amazon messages. Number 4, get a planner. Planners come in all shapes and sizes. In my opinion, a family planner is critical to your mental health. This sounds dire, I know. However, you are responsible for getting everyone to all of their appointments, activities, play dates, etc. You also need to keep track of who is where and for how long so that you can make sure you are there for drop-offs and pickups, or if you need to have special clothes ready or bring any specific items. This is a lot to remember. A family planner that everyone can have a space on is helpful for everyone because they can see what is happening in the entire family. It is critical for you because you no longer have to rely upon your memory for the very important job of being where you need to be and at what time in your children's lives. I love the Bliss Family Calendar because it is simple. Give each family member a different color. Whether they are old enough to write their own activities and events on the calendar or whether you do it for them, everyone can just look up at that calendar and they can see right away, based on everybody's color, who is where at what time. I also like having a portable mom planner. There are so many out there. I recommend looking for one that is just right for you. Your first decision needs to be if you want a digital one or a paper one. Then, how much do you want to put into your planner? For example, I love the Bliss Family Calendar because there's really only 3 things you enter into it. For my personal planner, I like to have stuff like what I want to get done, what I'm feeling from month to month, and if those have changed, goal setting, and big tasks. My favorite is not specifically made for moms, but it is the one that I have used for over 3 years, and I have gone through a lot of planners. After checking all of them out, I like the Ashley Shelley Signature Weekly Planner. She has a daily one, that's just too much. I like the weekly one. I don't use a digital planner, so I can't recommend one. So happy hunting. Regardless of what you use, having a family planner on a wall in your home and a portable planner on the go will help you maintain organization by simply keeping track of everything so you do not have to remember everything. Number 5, set weekly goals. I love having that planner because I can now put in my goals as well. As I mentioned, I like the Ashley Shelley Signature Planner. I like that it has a year view for the goals. I'm not able to think for the entire year. However, I use this part in quarters because I usually have a bunch of things I want to accomplish within 3 months. Before each month is a rundown of what you feel and what is going well in your life and what you need to say no to. You also look at what you want to accomplish for the month. If, for example, your 3-month goal is to reduce spending in your home, for 1 month your goal can be to learn a good coupon system. Another month can be cost-efficient meal planning. And then another month can be looking at your subscriptions. This planner helps you see your goals. You can then put your goals into weekly goals. By breaking down your quarterly to monthly to weekly, you give yourself a much better chance of accomplishing all of these goals. This is a big step in helping you organize your life. Talking about each person's goals with each other in the family can help you feel supported and encouraged by your family member connections. Number 6, plan meals for the week. The final tip for organizing your life is meal planning. If you can get your meals planned for the week ahead, you can save a lot of time. You will be able to make a grocery list with exactly what you will need for the week and make one trip to the store. You can plan meals that piggyback off of each other. For example, I like to make a roast in the crock pot on a busy night, and then the next night we have hash with the leftover roast beef and potatoes. Your mind is more frantic when you are sneaking on 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you have no idea of what you should cook for dinner. One of your limitations will be what you have in the house. You also have to look around everybody's schedule to see who has time to eat and if you're running out the door for different activities. Your life is much easier, your mind is less cluttered, and you feel more in control if you have the meals planned and the groceries are in your cupboard. You can give yourself a fabulous gift by creating systems in your home. These 6 tips for organizing your life will help you feel more in control, experience less stress, and buy you more time. The quote for this week is, "Your mind is like water. When it becomes agitated, it is difficult to see, but when you let it settle, the answer becomes clear." Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social media networks. See you next week for a new episode.